Okay, so here's the Oceanic Air dry suit, and I'm going to replace the boots on the actual suit and show you how to do it. First thing to do is to peel back where the ankle weights were to get to the original seam, and then literally just cut the boots off straight across so they can be removed. Now the way Oceanic fit their boots on, there's no tape on the inner edge. They literally just glue the neoprene face here to the inside of the actual leg here. You can see that. Right, so there you can see I've literally just cut them straight off, basically at the point where the suit ends here. Now if you peel it back, you can see the way they glue them inside. It literally is just the neoprene is glued to the inner face of the actual suit. Now the biggest problem is getting this material here off the suit, and the easiest way of doing it is literally with a wire brush, and I'll show you doing that in a second. Okay, so I've folded it back now so you can see there's the neoprene. So literally the boot was stuck onto the neoprene in that fashion like that. That's how it was fitted. It's folded back now, you can see the glue. So now what we've got to do is get rid of all of this neoprene fabric. Okay, so this is my setup, simply a wire wheel on a motor spinning. You can put gloves on if you want. I would recommend you wear gloves just in case your hands slip and you catch the actual wire wheel, but I'll show you doing it now in a second. Right, so all you do is literally bring it up to the wheel and grind it away. Don't press hard, nice and gentle. Rubbing it across. Carry on like this all the way around. Okay, now I've done the other side. Let me show you that. So you can see it's now all gone back to what was the inner fabric. So in less than 5 minutes I've cleaned all the neoprene off it. All I've left to say is one face of the neoprene, the original sort of flexible skin, which is the original glued surface onto the actual leg itself. As you can see, really quick way of removing it. Right, so there you can see that's the outer edge, and that's the outer edge folded back. So you can see the nice clean face that we've got there. Next thing to do is to tidy up this cut edge here to make sure it's not as raggedy as this. I'll do the same on this edge. And before you cut your boots off, mark them so that you know which way forward the toes should face. So I just marked them with a Sharpie pen down the front when I took the original boots off, so I knew which way to get the toes facing and the correct ones. I've gone for the seaskin boots, again a neoprene boot. We're talking about 45 quid for these delivered, so quite a reasonable boot, and of course because they're neoprene they're insulated and they look quite a nice little boot. Right, now before we start putting the boots on, there's a few bits you need to get together. You need some coarse sandpaper, some toluene. I use this glue, it's very good, it's Polymarine's inflatable boat adhesive and it's extremely good. I don't use the two parts, just use a single part to give me more time for glue to set. Then you need to make yourself a device like this that will expand. So basically 3 blocks of wood or 4 blocks of wood, and as you screw it in, it expands out. And this is a piece of old gas pipe I've just cut. Now you'll need this to go inside the boots, and you expand it inside the boot, and that creates a nice tight seal on the inside, and I'll show you that as I fit it. Okay, you'll notice I'm using a brush. Get these in the 50p shop, just a child's brush. I like them because of the right size for the actual glue when you're putting their tape on. It makes a nice glue line. So all the way around the boot, you're going to do this with 2 layers. So first layer, put the glue all around, and then a second layer once that one's actually completely gone off. Now for doing the inside of the boot, again you've got the original lining from the old neoprene, and make sure you get the glue all the way around again. 2 coats, first coat go round, let it go off, second coat. Okay, second coat has now been completed, and remember before you actually apply the glue you need to clean all the surfaces both on the boots and on the seals with the toluene. That just makes sure if there's any dirt or grease it's gone. It also makes sure if there's any residual talcum from powder from when they've actually done the moulding process, that's all cleaned off completely. Right, the glue is now completely touch dry. Now what you need to do is you need to now fit the boot in, making sure your orientation is the correct way around. So it's a case of putting the bottom piece in, then rolling it in all the way around, fitting it in neatly. Okay, I've now fitted it all in, all the way around, nice and neatly, fitted it all in. Give it just a squeeze, just to hold it. And now you need to invert the leg as far as you can, and we need to get the spaces in to put some pressure on the inside. Right, I don't know if you can see, but that round plastic pipe is now pushed inside the boot. And now what I need to do is put the spacer tool in, and then I literally, as I tighten it up, the spacer opens out and we'll squeeze that plastic tube nice and tight on the inside. Right, if you look down, you can see the spacer tool is now in place, and all I need to do is wind it out to put some nice pressure on the inside of the boot leg, and I do that with just a long socket. Okay, there we go. It's nice and opened up now. Got some nice tension on the inside of the leg. That should set really well. Now let's turn the suit the right way out and have a look at the outside. Right, this has all been sanded down now, it's all been cleaned, and I say this is why I like these brushes, because I can literally now go around with the glue and it'll just be the right width for the actual sealing tape I'm going to put on. Okay, so the tape's now been put round. I go round it then one of these rollers just to make sure it's actually into the groove there, nice and tight, so there's no gaps or any air bubbles around it. And then once you've done that, you then go around it with a rag with toluene to clear away all this spare glue, because the difference between a decent looking repair and one that someone's done in a garage is usually all the glue marks everywhere. So you want to try and get rid of as much of that spare glue as possible and make it nice and tight. Okay, so this is how the boot should look when it's done. See, nice tight seam all the way around. I mean, with the edge it's hidden anyway by the ankle weight pocket, but nice and neat, and that should last you the next 20 plus years, or as long as the suit will last. Alright, thanks for watching.